what you bring to the table for each team, and knowing like don't let a team underpay you for your work. But there's a difference, because there's a going through the process, going through the grind, and understand there will be a lot of highs and a lot of lows over here, but no one is a quitter until you really quit. And number 3 will be like, know yourself and know your worth. Know what you bring to the table for each team, and knowing like don't let a team underpay you for your work. Most players come overseas. You have 3. You have when you're young, you have your prime, and you have when you're a vet. Doesn't matter what sport you play, those are the 3 phases that you will have. When you are young and you're coming overseas for the first time, you're supposed to dominate. No matter what, you're supposed to dominate. You are in that phase where you have to dominate. You have to prove to them that they made the right choice by giving you the contract, or the company made the right choice by giving you this job, you know. Now, when you're in your prime, you know, I say most people about 28 to 32 in their primes, right? This is when you have to prove that you're worth the contract, you know, and that's a battle. That's a big battle, because teams and players will try to tell you how to do things, and you know, most players that come over here, they've been doing it majority of their whole life. And someone who hasn't went through the same grind, who hasn't played at the high level, they try to tell you how to do something they never experienced. And like I say, experience is the best teacher that you can have in this life. So they try to tell you how to play the game, and you look at them like, and that's where you, like I said, it's a battle. You got to be good. You got to know your worth. After the prime, mostly it's your vet. You know, you basically been through everything, and you basically understand how everything overseas work. Because most teams, they try to, this is a young man's game. They're not going to have a 42-year-old import or a 37-year-old import. This is a young man's game. And so if you're blessed to make it to continue playing after you're, like, afterwards, that's great. Because most teams look for younger players, that's understandable. It's a young man's game. But when you're a vet, you really have to prove that age is just nothing but a number. You can bring knowledge to the team. And this, as well, as I said before, this may have some other players or other organization, teams, or whatever, thinking like they know more than you, or like you hadn't played or you hadn't done it before in your life. But they can just be playing for 10 years, not good football, and they think they know everything. Or they can be a coach for 5 years, 3 years, and just because they got that little certificate, they know what they talking about. Or just because they have coaches coming over here from America and they go to these coaching clinics, they know what they talking about. But there's a difference, because there's a going through the process, going through the grind, going through those tour-a-days and those college. Everybody think college easy. Woo, boy! I know a lot of athletes that I know a lot of people overseas that won't make it. But then that's where you have to know your worth and your value that you bring, because at that time teams will try to, I wouldn't say lowball you, but they wouldn't pay you your worth. So once you get to that point, you know, as a veteran, you have to do what's best for you. Oh, those are the 3 things that I really had to express in this video. And no, like I said before, this is not intentionally that's going on with me. This is hopefully that can help other players. One of the biggest things that I can have for athletes overseas, just be authentic, be yourself. Don't change because they say you have to play this way because this is how you. Nah, like you gotta do you. You gotta do you. Do the small things that you always done to get you to the point to where you're at. Don't let these people dictate you or try to tell you like, okay, you can't play for us right now because this and that. Like, know your worth out here, guys. And understand, there will be a lot of highs and a lot of lows over here. No one is a quitter until you really quit. So enjoy every moment. Focus on the present, not the future or the past. What I did or what I'm going to do. Focus about what you're going to do that day. Win the day. Do the small things that day. Be blessed for that day. I think a lot of people overlook the biggest blessing of, oh, I get to wake up and I get to do something I love every day. And I'm blessed to wake up and do it.